going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of We Eat, We Game, We Entertain. This is episode number 2. My name's Tom Halfley. This is,
Morgan Gillette.
and Morgan's going to introduce us to what we're doing this week, what we're talking about. So I'll send it off to him.
This week is our New Year's episode, so we're going to talk some about that in the beginning, and then, of course, with every episode, we talk about games, sports, and food. We've got a recipe of the week, as always. So to start out with New Year's, any resolutions?
Yeah, so I think the biggest one that I have, every year it's the same, get into more working out, get out to working out actually, and eating better. Those never get stuck with. Um, so I'm just kind of just throwing those to the weight side. The more popular one that I'm sticking to that I like is that I think I'm going to actually stick to is doing this podcast and learning more about video editing and audio editing and all that because I am actually enjoying that right now. So just getting into that. That's my only big one. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on the always trying to improve eating and things like that. This year, I am going to try and do better meal prep. I do feel like those are the ones that fall away first, though. Another one that I try and do every year is read 12 books. I think that that's been one of my resolutions for like 5 or 6 years now. I will say that I got the furthest that I ever have last year. I got to like 5 or 6, maybe, which is much better than the 0 that I had the previous 4 years. So working on that. And then also, I want to stick to this podcast as well. I'd like to record at least one a month and keep that going just to have something else to do. And I'd like to work on learning new things and something fun to do.
going back to your 12 books, I know you're not the biggest fan of Aaron Rodgers, but so I watch the Pat McAfee show Monday through Friday, in the middle of the day. They have Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays, and they also, during the NFL season, they have the Aaron Rodgers Book Club. And
Oh, okay.
there's some good books um, in that I read. I didn't read them all the way through, but every week it's just kind of like books that he reads. And this is the second season that they've done it because he's been on there a couple of times. But I'll just
Mm-hmm.
like kind of read a couple of the books that he's like, or the titles of the books that he's kind of thrown out there. The first one's The Alchemist,
Okay.
which that's a good one. Some of them if you've went to public schools, you've pretty much read them because I think everybody has to read. Like this one, The Giver.
Okay.
Did you have to read The Giver?
Everyone is supposed to read these books.
Yeah.
I was one of those that chose to fail the class. So,
Yeah, or read Spark Notes or whatever.
Oh yeah.
You Are the Universe is another book. The Four Agreements. I mean, if you just Google, Aaron Rodgers Book Club, that's the first thing that pops up.
No, and that's the good thing about books for me is I haven't read any of them, so it's like I can. Almost all of them are new to me, and it's new. It's a good experience.
And some are, I think it's funny. Some of them are like deep thinking. Some of them are just kind of like, just whatever books. Like The Art of War. It's just, I
I,
just think it's funny that
I
he's.
I think that's a good book to maybe have in your house, but reading the whole Art of War seems like a waste of time.
Who knows? You might learn something.
Yeah,
I've never read it, so I can't confirm or deny
I,
if it's a
I
waste of time.
I've seen quotes from it that are good, but I thought it was just like quote 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 over and over and over, and not a real story or anything. Is my interpretation of what it is, understanding of what it is.
Yeah, maybe. But so, is there any other New Year's resolutions? I just have the one, just because I tend to not.
I mean, I had 3. Two of them are, just eating better and reading the books. Those are kind of um, lesser resolutions. That it's just like every year, when the new year comes around, is when you're like, all right, it's time to be a better person. Let's pick it up.
Yeah,
Um,
I've kind of thrown that out.
so those are those resolutions for me, and then my actual one that I think that I'm gonna do is record this.
I hope so because I'm enjoying it. So you
I
just
mean,
stretch that to a minimum 2 a month. Let's get this every
I'll
two.
do what I can. I'll do what I can.
But yeah, I think 2 a month for this is way doable if we just plan out. But moving on with the New Year, did you do anything for New Year's?
I drove up to Georgia to see Lee, my brother, and my niece, but we didn't go up for Christmas, so we did all our Christmas stuff then and hung out. We didn't actually stay the night of New Year's. We came back down because a lot of people shoot fireworks around our house and it freaks our cats out. So it's better if we're here for that. I feel like it's torture for us to be gone and for there to be explosives outside.
Oh yeah. My dog goes nuts with fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember one year when I was living with a couple of buddies for 4th of July. We were lighting them off, and I opened the door to like kind of let Pepper out because she's freaking out. So I'm like, oh, maybe if she like sits out here, she'll be fine. Let her out, and we had lit one, or my friend Nick had lit one, and she ran and picked up the firework, and it was just going off in her mouth. So
That's
can't
terrifying.
she tries to like attack the fireworks and everything. So luckily she didn't have it in her mouth to where it shot off into her, but it was like that video that you see where the dog picks up the firework and just runs around and it shoots everywhere.
Yeah. Well,
That's
what
exactly what happened.
one time one of my cousin's dogs picked up a smoke bomb as it was going off. So it was just like pink and
It
like running
dyed his
around all over the
mouth.
place. Yeah, and the mouth was totally pink after that. Which I mean, it was a little bit before, but the teeth were pink and everything. But we growing up, we had like a big New Year's celebration every year because we lived like out in the country and my uncle had some property out there. So he would always get a bunch of fireworks and stuff for New Year's and the 4th of July. So I feel like I've had enough of that for my entire life. Like I don't really feel like setting it off anymore. It's just it's a lot of work. It's more
Yeah,
cleanup than anything.
yeah. I think as we get older, the whole New Year's party kind of just fades because I don't feel a need to really celebrate. I think I've watched the ball drop the past couple of years like once or twice.
No. Yeah, I also like I was asleep at like 9:30 or 10 o'clock. I felt bad. Lauren, she stayed up a little bit, but she didn't stay up all the way this year, which I felt better about. But still, I gotta
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, and celebrations and all that. I'm for if it means something to me. But New Year's just got to change the date on forms I got to fill out. So,
Yeah, exactly. I put 2022 into something today.
oh yeah, I do that for the first at least month until
Yeah.
it clicks. So, but yeah, I didn't really do much for New Year's. I think I was on here. Probably played video games with Perp and Gary or something because I don't think anybody went out. Probably your brother also was on. So other than that, low key New Year's.
It's
Never
the way to
really
do it, though.
big. Yeah, I don't need to go out and drink and do any of that. So
I have no desire to like
yeah,
go to a bar or like anything like that for New Year's when there's extra people.
yeah, just crowds and just
Yeah,
you'll just see ratchet stuff. People.
that would be the reason to go.
Yeah, I do enjoy people watching, but
Yeah,
being too many people, it gets to be too much. All right, we'll move on from New Year's stuff. We'll move. We'll go into games. I know a game that I've been playing with a couple of our friends. You haven't downloaded it yet.
I
Um,
still have to be talked into it, so now's your chance.
yeah. which is the Warzone. I don't know how I got talked into it because I hated Warzone last time I played it. But Warzone and DMZ, which DMZ is like their new like game mode they put out. Um, it's pretty much the same thing as Escape from Tarkov. It's just less. It's more casual. It's a good way to
Okay.
put it. You still lose your stuff, but you get dropped into an area, and it's not all about being the last ones to live. You want to go in there, do missions, collect collect gear, collect different stuff, and then you can extract with all that gear.
What do you do with it when you
Just hold
extract?
on. You just hold on to it for the next one. So they give you like bounties and missions that you do while you're in there. Um, but you want to hold when you extract. You want to like hold on to all your guns because if you die, like um, if another group you run across another group of like actual like players instead of bots because there's a lot of bots and then probably like I think 60 or so humans in the game.
Is that on purpose?
Yeah, they want you to have a mix of bots and humans,
Okay.
um, just so you're not just running around just killing, just making it PvP. It's just PvPvE.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, and extracting is pretty fun because you can camp the extraction zones and shoot the players that are trying to extract with all their gear. Because if you kill them while they're in there and they haven't extracted, they just lose all of it, and you can take the
Mm.
stuff. So that's it's a pretty fun game mode. I get pissed off sometimes because I'll lose all my stuff right at the end while I'm getting extracted, or like you have a chance to team up with people. So people like try and like we had Gary and I had a random in our group that just let another random person join us, and he was friends with another team, and they're like, "Oh, they're right here." As pretty much just like a cheap way to like get us killed because
Hmm.
the guy knew where we were at the whole time. So besides that, it's fun.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just focused on looting and completing objectives, just not being the last like um, non bots in there because you got to get out or the like gas or storm will kill you.
So this is two different like game modes in the same game.
Yeah, all free off
Okay.
of the Warzone little Warzone's just the like Fortnite battle royale type game.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I
totally
mean,
obvious.
I downloaded that last time and I played like 5 games. I think part of my issue with it then is my computer really sucked, so I couldn't aim.
Yeah. No, this one, yeah, it's a lot better if you have a good computer because I think Fish only has trouble not being able to run it, and but he still is able to run it. It's just not really good. He plays it on the lowest settings,
Oh, okay.
but he has like a I want to say his graphics card's like a 1650, 1660, which is two generations before ours.
Okay. Yeah.
So mine runs it perfectly fine, and yours is a little better than mine. Like I get 100+ frames running it on like high. So
Fish, if
you'll
you're
have no
listening to
problem.
this, get a better graphics card.
Don't do that. He's got a kid coming. He's got to buy
That's
diapers and
true. That's
stuff.
true. I guess don't do that. He wouldn't do it anyway. It was just a jab. He won't listen to this.
No, if he does listen to this, comment Chungus or Boots or something.
Yeah.
Take a shot of Tito's while you're eating your buffalo chicken dip. But yeah, so that's been pretty fun. The Warzone DMZ. DMZ you can only be a 3-person team. So if we have 4 people on, that's when we play Warzone.
Okay.
So
I guess I'll probably download it because it's free. I like I like cheap
yeah,
and free.
can't beat free games.
Yep. Um. Actually, the game that I had intended to talk about, Civ, because I've been playing that a lot lately. I initially got for free um, on the Epic Store, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, it's on the Epic because I'm pretty sure I have it for free on there too. I just haven't downloaded it.
yep. So, although I've now bought all the expansions, so that's the difference. That's the only thing I've ever bought on the Epic Store, though, and they got me like giving me the base game for free.
How much were all the expansions? Is it like a pretty?
I mean, when I bought it, I paid $60, but when now you could get everything for $20, I think, or 20 or $30 when it's on
Oh,
sale.
okay. Is this the newest Civ that you play, or?
Yep, yep, the newest one, and also they've been. So this is what I've been doing. They just released some new leaders, so I've been playing. Uh, they've got Abraham Lincoln now, so I've been playing a game with Abraham Lincoln, and the games take forever. I mean, they're like I I can normally win in like 300 turns in a like 500 turn normal game. I think that's the cap, but it takes a very long time. It can be over a week, especially if you take breaks.
Is it like a turn-based Age of Empires type game?
Basically that, yeah. Except it's less. So Age of Empires, you do more like actual physical building of stuff, like of walls and of you mine resources and things. Whereas in Civ, you grow your cities, who then mine the tiles. It's like you could make it a board game if they wanted to. I think
Mm-hmm.
it would just be a very complicated board game.
Good. Yeah, we might have to start one up. Play the slow game with me because I know you have one, or you played one with Rick
Yep, I
a
played one with
while
Gary
back.
too.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yep,
know that.
he bought it.
Oh, he didn't get it for free.
No, he bought the game. It was on sale for like $10, but still he paid for it. It was just on sale for $6. The base game.
I'm surprised you got Gary to buy a game. It's
I
hard to
get
do.
I get Gary to buy a lot of games.
He always, yeah. I always hear about. You always play. I always play. I buy a game, and 2 weeks fucking later, you guys have stopped playing and you've moved on to another game. So
I'm
I'm just
trying to
not
get him.
buying games.
So I bought Valheim to play with him, and then I'm trying to get him on Deep Rock. But I've just been busy at work. I haven't been on games a lot, honestly.
Hmm.
It's the issue.
Yeah, and when you have, it's been like you don't want to get into something deep like all of that. It's just more of like let's play some casual Overwatch or
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Something
No,
you
I
can
feel that.
disconnect from after 20 minutes if you need to.
Hmm. Huh. I know one game we've been looking forward to. You and I both. It comes out. I don't know the exact date, but I'm pretty sure mid-February. Is Hogwarts Legacy.
Yes, I have been looking forward to that.
So that's the game where it's like before Voldemort, before Harry Potter, Dumbledore, all that, because it's set in the 1800s, and you're a student, obviously. Um, but as far as I know, you just hold the keys to an ancient secret that threatens to tear the wizarding world apart. Make allies, battle dark wizards, and ultimately decide the fate of the wizarding world. Is just what they had, I think, on Steam to kind of get you pumped. And then you can watch the trailer and all of that. That gets you into it more. It is single player, which isn't bad
I
because.
mean, yeah, I like single player games. I think there should be more single player games these days.
Mm-hmm. And you had just bought a single player game too that you're going to get into. I haven't played it yet, but that Jedi one, I forget,
Oh yeah,
Jedi with Cal Kestis as the main character. I forget what it's called, but they're
I
coming out with the second one soon.
yeah I can't remember what it is. I got it for like $8 though. So
Yeah, it's like Lone Survivor or something.
yep,
Jedi Survivor.
that's it.
So, or Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah, that's it.
Jedi
What?
Survivor is the new one that's coming out pretty soon.
But I think it's like normally 40, but when it goes on sale, I guess it's like 7. six
Yeah,
or
you
seven
got it for like
dollars.
$6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had pointed out because I saw it and you never played it, and I had played it previously on PS4. I think I got
Okay.
it for a gift for PS4 like a year or two ago. But pretty good side story for what it's worth. Darth Vader's in it a little bit, and then all the Inquisitors.
You know,
So
speaking of the PS4, are you getting a PS5? Do you have a PS5?
I don't know. The only reason I'd get one is to play sports games because sports games on the PC kind of is trash, and UFC because they don't have a UFC game on the computer. It might be in the future. I might get one in the future, but
I want to get the NCAA game if it comes out.
yeah, I think they just pushed back the NCAA. I think it was supposed to come out this year, and they've pushed it back even further. So
Are
I
you
don't.
serious? I've been waiting on that for so long now,
It's
and
been like almost 10 years.
they finally have the NIL stuff, and then they can't do it. I don't understand. Did they not want money? Like, I'll pay them. I'll give them my money. I want this game.
No, I don't know what's holding them back. Maybe it's the publisher. It's the only thing I can think of. NCAA game. Um, yeah. Yeah, recently they announced that the game would not arrive until summer of 2024. Yeah, I don't know. It's just the never ending. I think people still even play
Oh, they do. The last one that came out,
NCAA
it was like,
14,
yep,
and people still play that, and it's wild.
they update the rosters and stuff every year. There's like a group
Oh,
of
yeah,
people that
probably a
are like
big
all about it.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well, PlayStation, I'm not buying a PS5 until EA makes the game. So you
yeah,
better
if we
push
get
that.
that, because doing a franchise on that is like way fun.
Hmm.
So we used to do that back in the day with the being able to recruit and stuff like that. So that's like one of the more fun football games that you can have. So I think that about wraps up all games, unless you want to add something, Eddie.
No, that's all I got.
All right. Yeah, we can move on to sports now. This week there was a decent amount of stuff going on. Um,
We do have quite the list here.
yeah, I know. So we'll start out with just I guess the most recent would be that the Bills safety, Damar Hamlin.
I guess the most important one too. Like that's or
Oh, yeah.
the most interesting. Like it's wild.
Yeah, it's he tackled. So long story short, he tackled somebody.
Jamar
Oh
Chase.
well, no, I think it was T Higgins.
Oh, T Higgins. T Higgins.
Yeah, so
Sorry, Jamar Chase.
he tackled T Higgins, got up. Second later, he drops. Nobody knows what's going on. Everybody rushes out. They had to do CPR. One guy on the Bills training staff, he did CPR for like 10 minutes or something until they could get him up out of there. Just hearing from different like football analysts and just players over the week, scariest thing that they've seen, because whenever this happens before, you always see the thumbs up or the wave when they're getting carted out. None of that happened because he
Oh yeah, no. I mean, he only woke up like yesterday.
yeah
And this is like day 4 now. They took his breathing tube out last night, I think, is where we're at with the story right now. Like most
yeah
recent update. And it's really good that they said he's got brain activity. Like the first thing that he did was ask if he had won the game or not, which of course they suspended it, but they'll get around to that. But that's the scariest thing when you lose blood pressure, and that's why it's so good that they got on him with that CPR so fast. It definitely saved his life and his future and all of his his brain by doing that.
Oh yeah, and they're actually they're canceling that game, so they will not play that game at all. So, but we'll get into that after a little bit. So they did take his breathing tube out last night, and he was able to chat with like definitely his family that's there,
Hmm.
and that was good. And then he was able to talk to a couple of his teammates, and he probably talked to McDermott, the head coach, which is
Hmm.
good. But prayers go out to him. Scary stuff. I remember watching it, and I was just like, everybody was huddled around him, and it was probably the
Yeah.
wildest thing I've seen in football.
You
So
could tell by the looks on everybody's faces, like real quick, that something was not normal with the
yeah,
hit. And I mean, I've seen like some bad hits before, but it wasn't even a bad hit. It was just that it got him in the perfect way in his chest. I guess it was like a drill directly to his chest. It looked like.
it's like those off. I don't know if you've seen it, but we watch UFC pretty frequently to where you see some of the shots that it doesn't impact them right away, but then a couple seconds later, they'll just like drop or be like knocked out or something. So something like that. Wild situation, but glad he's getting better. I'm glad he's recovering. Shout out to him. Shout out to everybody at that. I think the medical staff in Cincinnati
Oh yeah.
doing awesome stuff. But that brings me to, so they've canceled that game. They're not going to play that game. And today they had just reached a resolution. The NFL owners approved a resolution during a league meeting today that adjusts the AFC postseason. I'm just reading this off of NFL, including possibly playing a conference championship at a neutral site. They announced today.
That's probably a good answer. Why
Yeah.
not?
Oh, I'm just going to read through the two main elements of the resolution. So the first one would be the AFC Championship game will be played at a neutral site if Buffalo and Kansas City both win or tie in Week 18, plus both teams advance to the AFC title. Buffalo and Kansas City both lose, plus Cincinnati also loses or ties in Week 18, and Buffalo and Kansas City advance to the AFC title game. Buffalo and Kansas City both lose, plus Cincinnati wins, and the AFC title game is either Bills versus Chiefs or Bengals versus Chiefs. And I guess the NFL Commissioner Goodell will determine the neutral site of the title game if one's required. That's just a lot to process. So,
It seems that it would be easier to list the games that would not be neutral site games because that was a lot. I'll wait until they explain it to me, like in the middle of a game.
oh yeah, and somebody will do a lot better job than me just reading off
Oh
what they
yeah,
came up with.
y'all look that one
But
up on YouTube. That's not what we're here for.
the second one is if the Ravens defeat Cincinnati in Week 18 and the Chargers beat the Broncos, and if Baltimore and Cincinnati are scheduled to play a wild card game against one another, the site for that would be determined by a coin toss. Since I guess
Oh, the seating.
the
I
seeding
guess is the
wouldn't be
thing.
able to be matched up correctly. If Cincinnati wins Week 18, or if Baltimore and Cincinnati are not scheduled to play one another in the wild card game, the game sites just would be determined by regular procedures, strength of schedule, stuff like that.
This is one of those things where you just gotta trust that someone did it. Someone actually did the math, and it's right because I'm not doing that. Like I don't even want to. I don't want to think about that. That's too much.
Yeah, it
Uh,
is a lot.
yeah.
Um,
And my team's not in the AFC, so I don't. And my team's not in the playoffs, so I don't care. I'll watch it unfold.
yeah, yeah. Just tune into the NFL to watch that chaos
Yeah.
unfold. My team is in the AFC, but they have
Also
they have
not
to
the
beat the
playoffs.
Chiefs. It's like a tiny, tiny bit. I'm like the Commanders
Let
every.
Let's be real here.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I know that they're not going, but so I'm in the DC area, and for this is just a little background. Every season, whether it be the Redskins when they were called the Redskins or the Commanders now, every year though the Commanders will do good. Halfway through, they're like, "Oh, Commanders playoffs! We're gonna win the Super Bowl, playoffs!" And that's how I feel some Raiders, and it's just like you're reaching.
Yep.
But
I know that we suck. That's and we're gonna suck for a little bit, and that's
yeah,
okay. That's just how it happens.
hopefully the Raiders, don't suck. And I'll get into this right now. Just talking about, I'll go into the Raiders. So they benched Derek Carr mid last week. I didn't know if they outright told him to just don't not come back, but
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's just not at the games, not at practice, not anything. He's just taking the rest of the time off. I guess him and Josh McDaniels didn't see eye to eye, so they've been starting Stidham, which he was on the Patriots up until we traded for him this year, so he knows McDaniels' offense and everything. They had played the 49ers last week, and we barely lost to them in overtime. Um,
That's crazy. Has he
yeah,
ever started before?
nah, first start. He went,
That's wild.
um, Stidham went 23 for 34, 365 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. But the interceptions, one was at the very end of the game. The other one was, I think, at the end of halftime when he just tried to throw something to the end zone for,
Man,
yeah.
that's good. That's pretty good. Maybe Derek Carr was the problem.
He was a little bit of the problem from what I can see now. In my opinion, he, just from watching him, he's regressed. He couldn't go through his progressions. I mean, this guy came in and he was passing the ball around like everybody has a turn. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Which is crazy considering they have Devontae Adams. Just
oh, he broke a record. He now is the single season receiving yards franchise holder. If I said that
for
correct.
one, this is first year,
Yeah, it's his
isn't it?
first year,
Wow.
and we still have one more game. But he has 1,443 yards and 14 touchdowns. So he's been killing it.
So that
Hopefully,
solid acquisition.
well, the one thing that I'm nervous about is the only reason he came over here, or the only like big reason, is because
Yeah.
him and Derek Carr played at Fresno State back in college. So Derek Carr had a lot of backing to get him over here. But I
Yeah.
think from what I've read this week, it's he's going to be, if Stidham doesn't, like, if that was just a one off, he just played well that one game and he just lays a dud out here against Kansas City. Um, Devontae Adams, I think he'll be like in close talks with McDaniels and like the GM, um, with who they're going to bring in as a quarterback,
Hmm.
which is probably going to be Tom Brady. That's just what. And I'm not the biggest fan of Tom Brady, but he knows McDaniel's offense, so I wouldn't mind that as for a year. Um,
I also am not the biggest fan of Tom
yeah,
Brady,
he's been on the Bucks for the past 2 years, terrorizing the Falcons and all of that.
and he hurt us pretty bad. He
But
he's made my life worse more than one time.
but yeah, I'll just end it with this. So we're the Raiders. I think we hold the 7th pick right now as it stands. I'd like to
Okay.
keep that pick. I hope we don't win, so we can get another decent offensive lineman or defensive lineman or something on the defense if we don't go O line the first round, because our defense is something that hinders us. But we'll transition to what you have on the Falcons or what you've seen.
Well, we had a similar situation this year. We had Mariota for a bit. Although I don't think the Falcons were ever under the impression that he was the long term answer. So this differs in that He's not the Derek Carr for our team.
Oh yeah, just a stopgap.
But I guess when we decided to start Ritter, it kind of upset Mariota, and he left the team completely as well. So now we've got, I don't even know who our backup quarterback is. It's like some guy that was a practice team quarterback somewhere else.
I didn't know that he had left.
Oh, he's gone. Like he also had a kid, so that's like the excuse that they put out there. But he's straight up like not doing anything with the team. Like he's out of the state. He's gone, and not coming back next year.
Did you guys only have him signed for 1 year?
We had him 2 years. I think the next year is an optional year though, but I don't know if it was on him or the franchise to do that option. But now, so we've just got Ritter, who's a rookie 3rd-round quarterback, and honestly didn't play bad. I think we won last week.
I think you want the young ho kicked it in the last couple of seconds.
Koo's the man. Koo. So now that we don't have anybody left, Koo is honestly my favorite player on the Falcons, and he'll probably be like a long time Falcons great. He'll go in the Ring of Honor or something one day. He's a good dude too.
He's my fantasy kicker, so he did well this season.
He's the man. He's always a good fantasy kicker to have because the Falcons are great at like getting down the field and not scoring. That's their thing. So always a great fantasy kicker. It looks like we're gonna have picks. I think it's somewhere. I read it was somewhere between 6 and 10, which I'm happy with anywhere in that range. I don't think that we're going to take a 1st-round quarterback unless someone really falls to us. I really hope we don't trade up to 1 or 2 to take whoever the guy is this year because I think they're both, neither one of them I've seen are generational type quarterbacks or anything. So I would rather build up the team for a while, let Ritter play out his stuff, save some money, build the team up, and do it that way. Ideally, I think we need some defensive players, and our offensive line has finally gotten a little better this year, but there's always some pieces on the offensive line. As far as the 1st-round pick, if it was somewhere between 6 and 10 and there was a top good corner in there, and we could take that and finish off our secondary, that would be great. We really need that. But really just best player available is always how I felt. This week we're playing the Bucks. So Tom Brady. I hope we win. I don't want a worse pick. I want to beat Tom Brady's ass. I don't think that we've beaten Tom Brady ever.
Oh, since he's been on the Bucks, or
No.
just any time he's been Patriots?
Ever. The Falcons have never beaten Tom Brady. So if we could beat Tom Brady, that'd be a solid Sunday for me.
Now, did the Buccaneers clinch their playoff? Or...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got it. They're in.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say they might.
Not everybody else sucks.
Or...
No, they don't have to start their starters, but they're going to. Because they're not going to break Tom Brady's starting streak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. They probably won't play the whole time, I think.
But even if he doesn't, we beat him.
Yeah, I think what I read is that they activated Florida's quarterback that they have, Trask.
Oh, yeah, Kyle Trask.
Yeah, he was an old Florida. I think they just activated him, so he might get some 3rd or 4th quarter playing time.
He's okay. He's like the definition of okay. He could be a backup quarterback for a while if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm. A good clipboard holder.
Yeah, that's his ceiling. I think he's a good dude and stuff, and he made Kyle Pitts a top pick and got him. I don't know, honestly. I don't know how that's going to work out on the Falcons, but I like Kyle Pitts. I like Kyle Trask, so he's okay. I'd rather him be the starter for the Bucs than Tom Brady, but I want to win this week.
Yeah, and on a high note. I mean, I don't think it's
and it'd be good for Ritter. And honestly, that's the most important thing is we need to develop our team and make our team better and stuff. And losing the last game of the season is never good for that. You never want to lose your football game. That's it's not fun.
I just want a good draft pick.
I hear that argument. I do understand it.
But yeah, if Stidham goes and balls out or whatever, I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, what if that dude goes and gets like 6 touchdowns or something?
Cool.
Wouldn't that be great?
I mean, he did well last week and we lost, so he can do well again and we could still lose. It's our defense. We've given up way too many. If we're up by 10 to 20 points at the half, guaranteed loss.
So
Our
your ideal situation is like 500 yards, 5 touchdowns, and a loss.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's just if you look stats wise from this season, every time we've been up by 20 to 30 or 10 to 20 points at half, we've lost. It's been like 5 or 6 games this season
That's impressive.
because our defense can't like
That's,
counter.
that takes real dedication.
Yeah.
Like to you know that there's a real fundamental problem when it's like that.
And they shut down a lot of people on our defense, so a lot of our starters just aren't even playing.
Oh, okay.
So it's gonna be a cluster out there because it's a bunch of second and third stringers. Maybe they'll get it. Maybe they'll come together and piece up Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey and all of them. I just don't see it.
Yeah, what if this Raiders team goes to the playoffs without Derek Carr? What would that be?
And Derek Carr's done for the Las Vegas Raiders, so we need to go to the playoffs next year.
Where do you think he'll go?
Uh,
Not
I
Atlanta.
could see him going to the Jets.
Yeah, the Jets need somebody now.
I could see him going to the Patriots. Um, Patriots is kind of far off. He could always go to the Colts. The Colts like to bring in old
do.
quarterbacks, and
They do.
they just completely like crap the bed over in Indy, and
You
then
know,
they go to the Redskin or the Commanders.
we actually did okay getting like a second round pick for Matt Ryan. Like
Oh
that's
yeah,
looking back, pretty good. That's
I
fine.
mean, yeah, Matt Ryan isn't even playing. He
No.
started a couple of games.
And
Benched.
nothing. Yeah, it's probably not even Matt Ryan's fault, but getting that out of him and seeing that he wasn't going to pull the team out of it anyway. We would have been just as we maybe would have won 2 or 3 more games if we had Matt Ryan, but we couldn't have done anything with it.
Yeah, so if we straight up release Derek Carr or we trade him, I hope we trade him, get some sort of return. I don't think we'll get a first round anymore.
Oh no, second
Like,
or third probably.
yeah, if we get a
Man.
second rounder from
Just because he
maybe
wants
even
to
the
leave.
Dolphins, because Tua has all those concussion issues.
That would be sad if Tua had to retire, but that is a good point. That's true.
He would be a good fit in at the Dolphins. I don't think he would do bad there. It's just Derek Carr and the front office just don't see eye to eye anymore. So, what are you gonna do? He was good for 9 years. Never had a playoff win. He was like Matthew Stafford for the Lions. So never
Yeah,
really good enough. Never really got us over the hump. But
well, I
go
feel
to
like
another team and do
Matt
something.
Stafford's probably more talented than Derek Carr.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no offense to Derek Carr, but Matt Stafford's got an arm.
Well, Derek Carr has an arm too. It's just if he can, throw it past.
Yeah.
If he doesn't check. The problem I had with him this season is Devontae Adams comes in, and every time he snapped it, it would just be on him.
Mm.
Whereas years before, he could pass it around.
Mm-hmm.
We have Jacobs, Renfro, Waller. I mean, we're stacked. Offensively, we're stacked, and he just couldn't make it happen. But Stidham went in and he made it happen. And another thing that hinders Derek Carr is he can't run.
Yeah, that was Matt
He
Ryan's
doesn't
problem
want to
too.
run.
Yep. And in today's game, the defensive lines are also good and so fast, and they're all blitzing so much that you have to have at least some mobility. You have to be able to get away from a quick pressure, or be Tom Brady and lay down immediately. Like it's one of the two. You gotta preserve yourself, and you gotta
throw it away.
Just something. You got to make the right decision.
There's so many plays where Derek Carr would hold onto the ball so long and then take a sack, and it's like, dude, just toss it.
Yeah.
Like, toss it or run and extend the play. Like, Aaron Rodgers does that. He does that perfectly. He extends the play with his legs. And that's what Stidham did last week. The 49ers would blitz, try to contain him, and he would pop out of the pocket, stuff opens up if you extend the play. So, not to knock Derek Carr, but he's more of a pocket passer, and he can run, he just doesn't.
I feel like the offensive lines, like the quality of offensive linemen, has gotten worse, which is probably a good thing for the health of the general population of the NFL. But
Yeah,
they've gotten like smaller. I don't know. It's maybe not smaller, but they're just less. There's less good offensive linemen out
just
there.
less of a big wall.
Yeah. It used to be like half the teams in the league had a pretty good line. Now it's everybody's looking for good linemen.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But yeah, that's so the game. The Raiders actually play tomorrow. This is Friday that we're recording this. They play Saturday. Um, yeah, there's two games on Saturday.
Interesting.
Kansas City and the Raiders, and I forget the other team.
Hmm.
But yeah, two games on Saturday. They didn't have a Thursday night game.
Oh, I guess that may be why.
I don't.
It's just something on Thursday.
No, no Thursday. So it's Titans and Jaguars. That's a good game to watch because that decides who gets into the playoffs.
Okay.
Um, and then no Monday night football either. Yeah, no Monday night. So it's just Saturday and Sunday, and um, then playoff time, and then we just get to stew. Our teams get to stew, and we'll start talking about college drafts,
Yeah.
players, and all that. So until the draft in April. So
Yeah, it's winding down now. I guess maybe we'll talk about the playoffs some. Got to talk about the Super Bowl.
I enjoy just watching football.
Yeah,
Um, so
it
we'll
is
talk
less
about the
fun.
playoffs.
It's less fun when it's not your team, but still something to talk about.
I think I'm pushing for the Bills to win.
I would,
Like,
I would,
that'd be
I
a
would
good
like
one.
that. I'd like that.
So, other sports. Do you have anything? Have you seen any good Hawks games, or
No good Hawks games at
have
all.
you watched them?
Yes, I've been watching them. It's been rough. I thought we were gonna have a really good season. We made some big moves in free agency, but we also made some bad moves in free agency, and we kind of suck now. I think we're like at 500 or something, not looking like a playoff team. Um,
Who was the worst pickup you think in free agency?
well, it's not that we had bad pickups. So we got the Holiday brothers, but we traded Kevin Herter for one of them. And now Kevin Herter is like going off on the Kings. And I don't know why. We traded him for a salary dump, which is sad in the NBA that people make those types of decisions. We traded our second round pick for money, for cash considerations,
Hmm.
which is like, it's why would
Do
you
you
do that
guys
as an
have to
owner?
sign any people this
What do
off
you mean?
season, or
So
anybody coming up?
no, I mean that's not. We were above our salary cap, so the owner was going to have to pay the luxury tax, and instead of doing that, he traded people away who made us better, and now we suck because we traded away our good players.
Hmm. Yeah. Besides, what is it? Trey Young, Hunter. Did you guys pick up?
So we got Dejounte Murray in the offseason from Sacramento. No, not Sacramento. The other.
Was
What's
he
the,
on Utah?
he was in? No, he's in Texas. What's the the San
Oh,
something.
San Antonio.
San Antonio, that's what it was. And they're moving to where they're tanking. So they traded for him, and we traded like 3 first-round picks or something. We traded way too much. And I guess he is an all-star and he's a good player, but he isn't alone enough, along with trading all of our good players away besides our starters
Is he
to
like
still
the
be
sixth
good.
man?
No, he was also a point guard, but we're playing him at the two, so we basically have 2 point guards, and Trae Young and Dejounte Murray. And then we've still got John Collins and Clint Capella, who I guess are doing with it. Clint Capella is really good. He's hurt right now, and that is hurting us a lot because our backup center is just a little bit small. And we didn't use our mid league exception. I think that's what it's called. You can
Mm-hmm.
get a better like veteran player, but we are just not using it. There are several centers out there who would improve our team by a lot, but we just don't have them because again, it would cost the owner money.
I was about to say, bring back in Dwight Howard. I think he's playing for some China
Yeah,
league.
exactly. We could get someone like that, and it
Yeah.
would make a big deal just to get rebounds. Because
Mm-hmm.
we get destroyed on the boards, and that's the most frustrating thing because it's professional basketball, and there's definitely big dudes out there who could do that for you. Nate McMillan, our coach, is uninventive. I think that he just like tells them to go and play basketball on offense. The defense is good defense, no problems with it. But on offense, he's just like y'all got this. Trae, go
Just
score some points.
man versus man or 2-3 zone. What are we playing this week?
Yeah,
Oh man. Yeah. I don't watch too much basketball. I caught the Cavaliers game this week with shoot, what's his name?
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell. He scored
Yeah,
71 points.
yeah, he's kind of good at basketball. He's Donovan Mitchell's good at basketball. 71 points is a lot. There's not a lot of players that have scored that many just like ever.
No, so I watched that game because um I do a little sports betting on the side. It's legal in Virginia. I do like $1, $2 bets. I think the most I bet is like $5 or $10, and it just depends. But he just needed to get 30 points from me, and I looked, and he was at like 68, and I was just like, "What the heck?"
Got that.
So yeah, I was like, I wish I would have. You always, Captain Hindsight should have
Yeah.
had it for 50 points. That would have been, I would have made, so much. But so that kind of gets me watching basketball. But
Yeah, I've got a NBA League Pass this year, so I
hmm
have all of the out of market games, and then that combined with my YouTube TV, which allows me to record unlimited DVR things. So I have all
oh,
the games
nice.
recorded. Yeah, so it's just whenever I can watch whatever games have come on during the week, and I've got them for the whole season.
That's always good.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, I don't. I'll go to basketball. It's like hockey. I can't watch hockey or any other sports besides like really football on TV.
basketball is the only one that I've found that I can actually watch on TV, and it's only because it's so fast. But I zone out more with football now, just because they take so long in between each play, and they started talking more and like bringing in ads and things, and I just get distracted too easily when they
Oh yeah,
are taking too long.
yeah.
I,
But yeah, send me to a game, and I'm all about it. I still need to catch a Wizards game, even though not really that into the Wizards, but
yeah, I guess Orlando is the closest team to me. I need to head down there for a game sometime.
yeah, they play the Hawks, don't they?
Yep, I think they
Yeah.
play 4 times a year because they're both in the East.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think the last game I actually saw in person was when the Wizards and the Hawks were both in the playoffs. It was a playoff game. That's where I
Okay,
got this jersey because John
nice.
Wall was still on the team.
Yeah,
Um, and I think Dwight Howard was playing for the Hawks. I think it was that year.
Oh yeah.
It was a while ago. It was
How?
like 2018 or 17.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate season. I wish that he had done better with us, and I don't think it was totally his fault. We put a bad team around him.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a fun game. I enjoyed watching it. We were like I think we were like 3 or 4 rows up from the floor, so it was awesome.
Oh wow, yeah, but that was good.
Yeah. So, when did the NBA playoffs start? That's not for a couple of
We're like
months.
halfway through the season. We're getting close to the All-Star break.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So March Madness is the college playoffs, and it's normally after that. So it'll be like April or something like that.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely talk about March Madness and stuff because I get into that.
I think I'm going to try and take some days off work to watch all the March Madness games.
At my old job, back years ago, they used to have the TV up in the office and they'd be playing the game, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably make some crazy bets in March Madness, and I'll fill out a bracket.
Yeah. I love playoff basketball in general, the NBA and college. It's just so much more interesting when there's like, this is it, and they play harder, and the games are a lot better. I will say that's how I first got into the NBA in the first place, is watching the playoffs like
they
5 or 6 years ago.
They play better in the playoffs.
Because they try. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The refing is better too. It's much, because they know there's more eyes on it. It's in general just better basketball, more entertaining.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that anything else you got for sports?
No, that's good.
Anything?
No, that's good. I think we got into all the stuff that we wanted to get into.
Yeah, for sure. We'll end it with so we're gonna end it with a recipe.
Recipe of the week.
Recipe of the week, which I had picked out. It's gonna be nice and easy. Kind of go along with your meal prepping resolution because it's you can definitely make this. Will make a bunch that you can just have, and it's a breakfast casserole. You can do many variations. The one I do that I like is you just get a little pack of sausage, half a carton of eggs, or whatever you call it, 6 eggs, cup of milk, 2 cups of your favorite cheese, pack of the hash browns, frozen hash browns you get at the store, and then
like the little individual hash browns.
Oh like no, like the shredded hash browns. I guess you could do that too.
No, I think the shredded would be better.
The shredded would be better, but yeah, I mean, there's so many things you could do. You do bacon instead of sausage. Salt and pepper, of course. Season everything. And then, so the one that I made that we'll be putting up on YouTube, and after this little blurb of me talking about it, we'll put it into this video podcast so you can see how it's made and everything. But I added onions to mine just because that's what we had in the fridge.
You got to have onions.
Yeah. You can add any vegetable. If I had mushrooms, I would have added mushrooms. Green peppers, any color peppers. One guy that I've watched cooking wise, he says you'll always want to have color in your dishes because bitches love color.
Hey,
so
he ain't wrong.
Yeah. And it just brightens up your dish, whatever you're making. But yeah, so the video will start right now. We're going to be cooking a breakfast casserole. The ingredients I will be using is a bag of hash browns, shredded, a pack of sausage, 6 eggs, cheese, any kind of cheese you'd like, and salt and pepper. So right now I'm putting a pack of sausage into the skillet on medium-high. And while you're doing that, you also want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Once you get your sausage in there browning, cooking up, you're going to want to start getting your veggies prepared, which I am only using onions. So right now I'll be chopping up onions. Now once you've finished chopping up your onions, you want to crack all your eggs into a bowl. Add your milk, and then you start whisking. Now after you've mixed your eggs and milk together, you're going to want to add a half a cup to a whole cup of whatever cheese you like. And you're going to want to whisk that into your eggs. Now you're going to want to grab your baking dish where you're going to bake everything together and take your pack of shredded hash browns and dump it into the bottom to create a nice even layer for your base. Also, after you finish layering out your hash browns, you want to add your salt and pepper to it, just however much you like. It's a preference, depending on who's making it. Alright, once you've cooked off most of your sausage, you're going to want to add in any vegetables you like, whether it's just going to be onions for me, but whether you like mushrooms, jalapenos, green peppers, anything. Chop it up, add it in there to the sausage so you can cook it down, saute it. With the onions here, you're just going to make sure it's just translucent so you don't get that raw onion taste. Now after you're done cooking everything, you're going to want to layer it all together. So I've got my pan down here. I'm going to add my eggs in a couple of seconds. After you add the egg mixture, evenly layer it. You're going to want to add your sausage. And then after that, you want to take another half cup to a cup of cheese and layer that on top. Now that you have the oven preheated at 350, you're going to want to cover your baking dish, put it in there, and set a timer for 30 minutes. After that 30 minutes is up, you're going to want to go in, check it, see if it's cooked most of the way, and then take off the tin foil and let it cook for an additional 15 minutes to kind of get the top all crispy and nice. And there it is, beautiful breakfast casserole, easy to make. Like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube. Let me know how the video is. First time me recording any sort of recipe or anything, and I take you through the steps of what to do. So, and we'll cut me talking right now out, but we'll go ahead and end it now. Um, Anything you want to add from today, Morgan? Or
No, I think that about wraps it up. That was pretty good. I'm excited to try the recipe of the week. I've got to get that going.
yeah, like I said, cut it up into squares, freeze a couple of it. You can have it every day for breakfast this week. So you don't know if you eat breakfast. Sometimes I skip it.
I
But
mostly skip it, but I eat it on the weekends. So this could be
mhm.
something, and then I could like maybe bring it with me to eat for lunch or something.
Yeah, oh yeah, freeze it and you can have it
Hmm.
the whole month of January for the weekend. So if you
Yeah,
only eat it or have it for dinner.
yeah.
But all right, we eat, we game, we entertain. Remember, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening to this from. Let us know. Leave a review, 5 star, 1 star if you don't like it. Let
Let
us
me
know.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get better.
So yeah,
Thanks for listening.
thank you. My name's Tom, and
This is Morgan.
all right, you guys have a good one.